Ralph Isernia, RPI football coach, joins us here on Big Board Sports. It's the Dutchman Shoes Game on Saturday at high noon. This will be at Union. RPI's won the last 4, so they've had the shoes in their trophy case for the last 4 years. And the coach joins us here on Big Board Sports. Good morning, Coach Isernia, Roger Weiland, Chris Honorado on Big Board Sports.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on, Coach. Always a fun time of the year. And this year, it seems like this game, I mean, you kind of throw out the records anyway, but you just want to include the records this year. They're identical, right? 7-2 and both 3-1 in the Liberty. This on paper has a heck of a matchup.
I think on paper, on the field, when you watch both teams on film, you see a lot of great matchups. You see a lot of even statistics when you look through the statistics online. So there's a lot of similarities with the two teams, and it's going to be a heck of a ball game.
You know, I'll let you expand on how big this is for the program, because you had an interview with us yesterday that we ran on WNYT and News Channel 13 saying, you know, if alums are going to come back for either game, they're going to come back for a game to watch, it's going to be the alumni weekend or it's going to be the shoes. And if they can only make one game a year to come back and watch RPI play football, it's going to be the shoes game. That's how big this is.
It is, and it's one of those games where if you got a few bumps and bruises, you've been nicked up maybe part of the year, all of a sudden you get some magic healing of the shoes game. You're healthy to play in the game. You get all the alums. They come back. All of the emails and phone calls and text messages you get throughout the course of the year. It's hey coach, good job, or good luck with all this stuff, and then it's always about the shoes. So it's the game that as a player and as a coach that you always remember from one year to the next.
RPI head coach Ralph Isernia with us here on Big Board Sports 104.5, the team ESPN Radio. If RPI wins Saturday, they are in. They get the Liberty League automatic berth. They would win that head-to-head tiebreak over Ithaca after they beat the Bombers earlier this season. Coach, I want to ask you about your quarterback. What were you seeing from George Marinopoulos in practice, who, of course, is from Guilderland, that led you to make that change? And then what has he done for this RPI team in terms of maybe steadying you guys a little bit at that position?
Yeah, I think the word that you said right there was steady. I mean, he's a cool customer back there. What we saw from him in preseason camp and then going on through the season is exactly what we saw from him when he came to our 7-on-7s, when we scouted him right before we were recruiting him. What we saw from him on the field in high school is that he's got a high football IQ. He's been well coached throughout his career. Coach Penn over there at Guilderland, they do a great job of developing student athletes, and he was ready to go when he came in here. He's got a great throwing motion, great mechanics, and he's got a good feel for the game. So we saw a guy that could execute our offense at a high level, and it took a little bit of time for him to get his feet wet and understand what we were trying to do offensively. But he is, like I said, he's a cool cat, and when he's back there, he's gonna hang in the pocket. He's gonna try to find the open receiver, and as a receiver, you gotta like that because you don't give up on routes on the backside. He's got a chance to come back to you.
Coach, everything's always about matchup, so let me just throw that out there. How do you match up with Union?
You know what? Roger, we've been looking at them, for the last number of days, trying to scout them. Not a whole lot. I mean, they don't have any weaknesses. I mean, they're stout on the defensive line. They're linebackers. They run to the football. They're so well coached. They're gap sound. They're going to play a bunch of different fronts. They're going to mix up coverages. They come at you from all different angles, and on offense, they're going to try to pound you. They're going to shift. They're going to motion, try to get you out leveraged. Then they're going to take a shot over the top and try to pump the ball down the field. So there's no weaknesses, and really what it comes down to is that who controls the line of scrimmage. Limit the turnovers and play a field position battle.
Coach, I know you've played in 3 bowl games in your time at RPI. What would a playoff appearance mean to this program?
Well, I think it's it'd be the culmination of where we are as a program since we took over in 2013. We every year we dedicate our season to our seniors, and this senior class is special in that this was our first recruiting class that we had here at RPI. So these guys, knew what a great education RPI had, but they bought into the program. They bought into the vision of what we wanted to build here at RPI for our football program. That's not only just about the X's and O's on the football field, but it's more about the development of a whole person and how they can be productive members of society and be great representatives for Rensselaer.
Well, I know this. You haven't. I think it's been since 2007, right? Since you have been to the NCAA tournament, so this would be a big one. I guess too, Coach. You go to a game like this, you do control your own destiny, right? It's all kind of on your lap. You win, and you know what the end result's going to be.
Right, and we addressed that with our team a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we got a ton of smart guys here at RPI, so they could look down the road and see all the permutations of what could happen. So we said, all right, hey, you guys are smart. Let's address the elephant in the room, and here's what could happen. Here's all the scenarios. I said, but none of that matters unless you take care of your business on the field. I mean, we've got to play a great football team, play a four-quarter battle, and every guy's got to do his job.
Coach, when that trophy is sitting in your case, is there a prettier, ugly trophy in all of football? As somebody who went to Ithaca, I know about ugly trophies in the Cortica jug. And these shoes, I'll say it, I won't force you to say it, they aren't exactly all that pretty. But when they're your trophy showcase, that make them a little bit better to look at?
It is the best looking trophy that I've ever
seen. Fair enough.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm sure you've had conversations with Dr. Lee McElroy, right? Maybe he'll throw his 2 cents into a game plan. He's a football guy.
He's you know what, and he's been great for us here at RPI, and he's been great for us also football wise. He's like you said, he's a football guy, and he's our number. I would say he's our number 2 fan for RPI football. Of course, our number 1 fan being Dr. Shirley Jackson, and she's been a tremendous support as well.
Well, listen, I look forward to. I really do. I mean, we pump it up every year, but following these 2 programs this year, I mean, 7-2, 7-2, 3-1, 3-1, both good, both well coached. This should be a heck of a football game on Saturday.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it has all the makings, and rivalry game with a lot of things on the line. It just doesn't get any better than that.
Coach, we appreciate a few minutes. Good luck to you, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me.
Take care.